Hi Pisces. Welcome to July 2025. Okay, in terms of love, first up we have the Four of Swords. Let's talk about Jupiter and Cancer. So there's a couple of ways that you can use this energy. The most beneficial for you would be to take your rest now, so that for all of July, you can be out. You can be amongst people, you can be socializing, you can be networking, you can be just, recharge now so you can be that really put together, well rested, my home is organized, my laundry is done, I'm out in these streets, but it's because everything else is taken care of. All the boxes have been checked. Look how put together I am. Look how I really don't care. I'm just exuding this very confident, I have my life together energy. And over the next 7-8 days, you have the perfect opportunity to do so. Do all the things that you usually put off. Everyone's got at least 2 or 3 things they know they should be doing. Could be simple, you're not moisturizing or hydrating enough. It could be more complicated, you're ignoring your bills. It could be you're chasing instead of letting someone or something come to you. This is your chance to reset before a really satisfying, beautifully social month. A week before, start to get yourself in this Empress energy. So what does that mean for Pisces? Now, for some of you, you're already there. You've been taking your space from someone, and just you taking that space is making your stock go through the roof. The more you take your distance from this place, this situation, this person, the more your value is going up in their mind, and they're beginning to see you not just in the context of the two of you or in the context of you being that employee at that job, but how the larger world sees you. When they put you in the context of the larger environment around them, then they realize how much of a loss they're actually experiencing and how much value you were actually bringing into the situation. So if you are dealing with someone that you feel is not valuing you, and you've just decided on your own that you need to step away and take a second, very, very good instincts there. If you haven't quite gotten there yet, this is your sign to detach. And just remember that you can't make people value you, but you can make them feel your absence, which will lead them to value you without you having to, force them to see you as you are. The thing about giving people space is that you're actually very good at it once you realize that it's not hurting them to not be in your presence. It's not hurting them to not have your mind, your quick thinking, your resourcefulness to their advantage. It's not hurting them. You were always a benefit to them. You not being a benefit to them is not you actively doing anything to them. It's just you detaching. If they make you feel that you're doing something criminal by detaching from them, it's because they would like to continue to use you as a resource without either paying you what you're worth, giving you what you want, or valuing you the way that you believe you should be valued, but also it's just factual. The Empress in the world is not leaving much doubt as to who the valuable person is in this equation. It's you. Now, instead of focusing on what they want, it's really time for you to focus on what you want. You know, like, what are your dreams right now? Do you want more money? Do you want more love? Do you want more commitment? Or do you want to have fun, and do you want to run around, and you want to socialize with a lot of people and not really make any commitments to anybody? You get to decide what you want to do here, but your actions in July will mirror what you're able to call into your life. So if you want something more committed and more serious, I would say maybe have your actions reflect that in where you're going, who you're hanging out with, what venues you're going to if you're trying to meet somebody, where you're not trying to go with someone if you want them to be more serious with you and not just, you know, something casual. Basically, you're going to decide with what invitations you accept and which you deny. You're going to decide what you're calling into your life. Your acceptance of life right now is the go-ahead that the universe is waiting for to bring you that thing. So just do what you want. Yeah, do according to what you want. I like that. All right, now, excuse me. And, you know, if that means that your life right now, what you want to mirror is fun and variety, and you don't want to commit to anyone, or you just are more focused on making money, or you're more focused on your comforts, maybe you're very much just zeroed in on that Empress energy and you just want to beautify yourself and you want to feel good all the time and you want to, you know, really pamper yourself, then do that. Whatever it is, just make sure you're consciously choosing what you're calling in right now. Okay, now let's talk about Mars and Virgo. So Pisces natal sun, that's across from you. You've got Mars and Virgo. And for those of you who are Pisces rising, there it is in your 7th house. And what Mars and Virgo, just on its own, the way that it behaves, is that it can be hypercritical and in a way that feels like the person doesn't like you, doesn't want to be around you, finds you to be distasteful, you know, all the things that you really don't want to feel from someone, you know, all the things that make you be like, wait a minute, you know, like, I have a lot of pride too, like, you can't treat me like that, you can't talk to me that way. But also, this is a card of someone who cannot take a joke, cannot take criticism, and hot take, you can't tell them the truth either. Leos are really big on truth until you try to tell them the truth about themselves. So, yes, Mars and Virgo, you can feel criticized, you can feel unduly picked on. It can be like, okay, it's enough already, or, you know, the timing is off. Like, why are you doing this right now? There's no reason to talk about this right now. There are moments all throughout July where you can feel like either a partner, a friend, a colleague, someone is going out of their way to let you know how you should or should not be doing things. And it's really annoying, and it's going to feel personal no matter what. You know, there's no way to not take it personally. But just remember, when you're taking it personally and you're getting really offended, just remember that it's because you also cannot take a joke right now. You don't want to hear this shit right now, and I don't blame you, but you really don't want to hear it. Some of it is actually valid, though. Like, you're going to have to decide if your ego is worth losing out on really good advice. Because even if it's coming from someone you absolutely detest, the advice is sound right now. Mars and Virgo wants to give you all the cheat codes and all the third-party POVs that it can. It wants you to see yourself from the outside. It wants you to see how you look. It reminds me of that episode where they're going to get that ice cream on Rick and Morty, and they leave Summer in Rick's ship, and the ship is making fun of her. The ship is like, that's what you sound like. That's how you talk. There are people, just like the ship is roasting Summer, there are people in your life who will feel like they're roasting you right now, but they're not roasting you. Their unconscious gestures are not any sort of reflection on you, even what they're telling you, even if they're saying it in a tone that feels, accusatory or unpleasant, it's not you. That's not what's happening. It's just that they have an insight into your life. There's like a window open to them that's not open to you, and they can see things that you can't see. And I think if they really love you, or even if they don't love you, they want to tell you. They want you to know. I would take it as helpful. I would try my best to not be paranoid about it. I would try my best not to be super sensitive about it. I would try my best to hold the happiness and the stability of the family unit, the friendship, the working relationship over what you think is happening. Because in your mind, what's happening is that these people or this person or this criticism is just meant to dull your shine. Like, there's no reason anyone should be talking to you that way. There's no reason anyone needs to tell you that. But if you can find it in yourself to forego that upset and maintain harmony in the family, the working environment, right, wherever it is, at the friendship group, if you can find it within yourself to maintain the harmony, the way you're feeling about the criticism will subside, and what you'll be left with in about 6 weeks from now is a lot of really great information and no burned bridges. So no matter how personal it feels, don't let it get to you. Try to hold the sanctity of the group over what feels like personal attacks, but really is just, it's our partners, it's our friends. People become our triggers right now. When Mars is across from you, the people in your life become like the walking embodiment of your triggers. And it's because, they love you so much that they're the only ones who can really like expose what really needs to be said. It's the people closest to you. So it will also feel, Pisces, to you like the people that are closest to you are the ones who are the most, you feel the most betrayed, because it's the people closest to you who are saying these really incisive things where you're like, wait, you're my closest friend, or you're my sister, or you're my best friend, or you're my favorite work like friend, or what? Why are we doing that? Why are you saying this? Like, this feels like such a read. Why are we doing that? Just remember, it's because they love you. And again, another reminder here, keep the peace. Try your very hardest to keep the peace. Try to think of the group. Try to think of what is the larger, or like what is the broader reason here that someone would say these things to me, or to raise these particular criticisms. What is it that they're seeing that I'm not seeing? Maybe if I just trust them and go on what they're saying, maybe I'll see what they see and I can really improve something. And then the last thing we're going to talk about before we go into work and money is on the 23rd of July, we have a Mars-Venus square that's perfected. So Mars will be in Virgo, Venus will be in Gemini. And so we have this mutable square that's perfected on the 23rd. And it's just the culmination of everything we're talking about now. So basically, when we get to the 23rd, all the people who have been talking at you, all the people who have been telling you things here, this Aries, this is Neptune and Saturn going retrograde in Aries during July. All the things they've been telling you, all the things that you may have integrated and said, okay, fine, I believe you, or the things that you got upset with and sublimated and pushed away from yourself, they all come to bear on the 23rd, because on the 23rd you have this moment where, probably also because Uranus is moving into Gemini, you have this moment of like pure chaos where you're asked to decide, like, what do you want? Do you want your home to be more beautiful? Do you want to be more beautiful? Do you want a nicer life? Do you want more money? Do you want better friends? What is it that you want? And any criticism that you any criticism that you've been hiding from, any criticism that you took super personally, comes back around in a way where you got to deal with it again, because what the square is asking you is basically the same thing that Mars in Virgo has been trying to prepare you for, which is, here are the cracks. Here are the things that need to be fixed if you really want these dreams to come true, if you really want that plan to work the way you want, if whatever you're trying to manifest, no matter how big it is, if you really want to properly plant those seeds so you can properly have that thing the way that you actually want it, you're going to have to deal with a certain amount of criticism. You're going to have to deal with a certain amount of external opinion and knowledge coming in and saying, hey, this looks really good, but if your aim is this, then you also need to do this. So by the 23rd, if you've been denying for 23 days, even more, let's say 30 days, if you've been denying what people have been saying because you don't like the messenger, or you're taking it personally, or your ego just doesn't want to hear it, then by the time you get to the 23rd, you really don't have much to work with, and then all of it hits you again anyway, and you're left feeling like the world is picking on you, like it's not fair. But really it's because you ignored weeks and weeks of very valuable information. So don't immediately jump to getting annoyed with people. Don't immediately fall back into people are out to get me, it's because people hate me, or they just don't understand me, I'm an enigma to them. You're not an enigma to them. They can see how your life can be improved right now. They can see that the way you're living could be improved, that the way you're feeling could be improved, that the way you're looking could be improved. And that's that's Mars Virgo. And no, it's not the funnest thing for people always to be giving you advice on how to elevate and beautify more. It's not the most easy thing to be really honest with people who feel like they're criticizing you and, putting knives in your back. It's not easy to manifest when Jupiter is in Cancer, and it feels like such a big energy that, excuse me, why wouldn't the best use of this energy be to just find someone to fall in love with, even if you're with someone already, and just and then do away with the energy that way. But really, it's pure manifestation energy. And if you can be an adult about it, and you can hear people out, and you can, not just see the signs, because you are very good at seeing the signs, but if you can actually heed the signs, then I think it's a really profitable time for you. It's very satisfying, not only in terms of how you feel about yourself and the value that other people are beginning to see in you, mainly because you pull away. You can listen to people's criticisms and not be their best friend. You can take people's advice and not have to stick to them. You can prove someone wrong or show them what you're really worth without having to go back and, kind of laugh in their face. There's no need for any kind of closure right now. Your closure is your wins. The more you win, the more closure you get. There's no need to go backwards at all. But it's also a time where, because Saturn and Neptune are both retrograde starting in that first week of July, it's really important to remember that this is a time where if you aggress upon others, you're immediately the villain. Because Saturn and Neptune are going to pull that Aries energy back. So if that gap that's created there, if you fill that gap of energy with violence, it's really obvious and in people's faces, and they just won't like you for it. So no matter how you feel, because Neptune's going to be retrograde for 5 months. No matter how you feel about it, it's a restructuring, and only somebody dense, I think, would take restructuring personally. It's not about you. It's not flaws in you. It's just evolution. It's just evolution. And that's a good thing. It's just a bit more stingy than usual, which is okay. because the wins, you know, are proportionate. Whether it's love or money, the wins are proportionate. So I think you can handle the sting. Okay, all right. And the extended, we are going to do a new shuffle for work, money, and then we're going to do another shuffle for health and movie tarot. Just, you know, because. Okay, love you.